You've defended an opinion today that you never actually chose. You just absorbed it from the room you were standing in. Today we're breaking down 5 mental shortcuts that quietly decide what you remember, what you believe, and what you think you already knew all along. Once you see them, you can't unsee them. Let's start with something almost everyone does at work. You get 10 pieces of feedback on a project, 9 of them glowing, 1 of them harsh. Which one do you replay in your head that night? Not the 9, just the 1. This is negativity bias. Your brain weighs bad information far more heavily than good information, even when the good outnumbers it 10 to 1. One bad review can outweigh a stack of great ones, not because it's more true, but because it's louder to a brain built to survive. That imbalance made sense for a species that needed to remember which berries were poisonous more than which ones were fine. A missed threat could kill you. A missed compliment couldn't, so your brain still overweights the bad long after the stake stopped being life or death. So next time one piece of criticism is drowning out a room full of praise, remember the math is rigged, not the message. That's the first shortcut. The next one explains why a bad idea can suddenly feel true the moment enough people repeat it. Picture a claim you weren't sure about, until you noticed everyone around you seemed to already believe it. Coworkers, comment sections, group chats, all nodding along. Somehow, that alone made it feel more credible, even though nobody actually brought new evidence. This is the bandwagon effect. The more people appear to believe something, the more believable it seems to you, independent of whether it's actually true. Popularity gets quietly mistaken for accuracy, and your brain rarely notices the swap happening. It's a useful shortcut in small doses. If everyone in a room is running for the exit, you probably shouldn't stop to fact-check them. But online, where popularity can be manufactured or faked, that same shortcut turns into an easy lever for anyone who wants to move you. So before adopting a belief because everyone thinks this, ask what evidence you'd need if nobody else believed it at all. Speaking of beliefs that shift the moment something becomes yours, here's one that changes how you value things you already own. You list an old jacket online for way more than you'd ever pay for the exact same jacket in someone else's closet. You're not trying to rip anyone off, it just genuinely feels worth more now that it's yours. That's the endowment effect. The instant you own something, your brain quietly raises its value, sometimes by nearly double compared to what you'd pay for the identical item if you didn't already have it. Ownership isn't just a legal fact to your brain. It becomes part of your sense of self. Giving something up starts to feel less like a trade and more like a small loss, and losses are always felt harder than equivalent gains. So if you're ever pricing something to sell, or deciding whether to finally let go of it, ask what a total stranger would honestly pay, not what it feels like it's worth to you. Up next, a bias that convinces you that you saw the future coming all along. A project falls apart at work, and within a day someone says, "Yeah, I could see that coming." Could they though, or does it just feel that way now that the ending is already known? This is hindsight bias, sometimes called the knew-it-all-along effect. Once you learn how something turned out, your brain quietly rewrites your memory of how uncertain you actually felt beforehand, making the outcome feel obvious in hindsight. This isn't just an annoying habit, it actively distorts how you learn. If every failure feels like it was predictable, you stop asking what genuinely new information the outcome gave you, and you start overestimating how good your judgment already was. So the next time you catch yourself thinking "I knew it," pause and ask honestly whether you actually said that before the outcome happened, or only after. And that question about memory leads straight into the final shortcut, which decides what you think is common just because it's memorable. Quick question. Are you more likely to die from a shark attack, or from a falling vending machine? Most people's gut says shark, instantly and confidently. The vending machine wins by a wide margin. This is the availability heuristic. You judge how likely something is by how easily examples come to mind, not by how often it actually happens. Shark attacks make headlines. Vending machine deaths don't. Anything vivid, recent, or emotionally loaded gets filed as common, even when it's statistically rare, simply because it's easy to recall. Meanwhile, the boring, ordinary risks that actually hurt people the most stay invisible because nobody made a movie about them. So before you fear the dramatic thing you can picture clearly, ask what the quiet, unremarkable risk might actually be, the one that never made the news because it wasn't interesting enough to report. That question alone can reorder your priorities. 5 shortcuts, all quietly running in the background of how you see the world: negativity bias, the bandwagon effect, the endowment effect, hindsight bias, and the availability heuristic. None of them make you gullible, they make you human. If this helped you catch your own brain in the act, subscribe. New psychology breakdowns like this one every day.